5 years, we will have 1 to 2 art retreats here on the river, where people from all over the United States could come. Just like the quilters come to Sisters, and that's a big deal, something like that. The Discovery Center development, they're chugging along, so we didn't have anything to add to that. Their plan is fabulous, and in 5 years, they'll be open in a year.
So this is great. So you're kind of looking at each one of these and kind of making like, what does success look like for that?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
great.
And
Okay.
then opportunities for supports for the arts, including gallery. We very much want at least one gallery in the area that features local and regional art. So in 5 years, there'll be one operating gallery. There are lots of artists in the valley, but we'd like to have them make art and not try to be business people.
Right. So
We'd
the
like-
gallery would represent those.
Would represent local and regional artists.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Food policy.
And then, yes, the food truck pod. We thought that Vida Flats would be a perfect place for a food truck pod. Think Tumalo. Have any of you been through Tumalo lately? Between Sisters and Bend? And you know the food truck pod.
Anna, have you been there?
That's where I live.
Oh, you live in Tumalo?
Yeah.
Okay. So we think that's a great example of what we could do here. Stop, it's really cool. Lots of options.
All right, that's great.
Yeah.
Do we have somebody from Nature and Recreation?
I wrote down, darn, yeah, after hearing y'all went line by line, that would have been smart, we didn't do that. So, I didn't even pay attention to that. For Nature and Recreation, that the Death Ball Trail System will be open and
The what?
Death Ball Trail System will be open.
It's for kids.
Out
Death
there-
Ball.
The death ball is for the
Death-
kids.
Trail System.
It's a hard mission. We're frustrated here.
Yeah.
Winnow down the field.
Sounds scary to me.
Alfter Heidi, which is the state's newest scenic bikeway, the first since 2017, will be famous, that's not the right word, but whatever, and well-traveled,
Okay, so
Renowned.
the scenic bikeway, so I'm hearing.
recognized and well-traveled.
Okay.
When there aren't landslides. Increased public recognition of the nature area restoration projects that have been going on. People, I still have clients think that all the trees at Elk Creek came down in the fire, and we have to explain that they were actually placed there for a reason. So it would be nice if people understood why all these things were going on.
Okay, so let me just make sure we're capturing that. So greater under
Increased
greater.
public recognition of the area's restoration projects. And it's successful. We have way more salmon reds and lamprey reds.
Okay, is that any,
Yeah.
what else?
Okay.
Okay.
Children's forest for exploration and education. Children/family/whoever wants to come. Children's forest exploration and education.
We had that ball mountain.
And it'll be accessible for old people?
Children's forest for,
For exploration and education. Try to get the younger generation connected to the land so that when we die, somebody's here to help
education.
How do you know that?
take over.
Okay?
Private funding for fish hatcheries. Because that's going down the tubes, public funding's going down the tubes in Pittsburgh. Zip lining and canopy tours.
Zip line again, Discovery Center.
Oh, that's who brought it up. We used to have a guy that did the canopy tours, and like I was telling him, I thought that was really cool. I came out of the rural tourism studio, I don't know how many years ago, and I thought it'd be cool. I thought I'd take my kids until I found out it was $200 a pop. So it needs to be a little more affordable. Indigenous connections. which there's some of that in the works, but I'm just going broad. And those who know me know I'm all about toilets. So enhancing existing pullouts with toilets and info kiosks. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, we just need to spiff it up a bit.
And what about
And
bicycle?
magically create funding for the United States Forest Service so they can actually staff their expensive building on weekends when people are traveling.
Okay, what, Tom, say that one.
Weekend USFS staffing. Yeah, the Forest Service is gonna die during this season.
Okay.
Can I add one? It's easy to add to that. Having bicycle repair stations, you know, with air and all that jazz, placed along, strategically placed along the river to bring in more bicycle tourism.
Okay, so bicycle repair stations.
I'm sorry, doing arts, people have to go to art places.
But I'll do murals. I'll do murals on it.
Okay, so is that your list? That's it. That's excellent. Okay, small business economy.
Well, we came up with half the commercial properties in Blue River would have businesses in them. We would have.
Hang on just a minute. We can only go at the speed of how fast we can write. Half of the commercial properties in Blue River are occupied, is that it?
Yeah.
With businesses? Okay.
There would be businesses serving both the transients that move up and down the highway to ski places and to duck games, and businesses for residents of the valley.
Okay. Okay.
There would be business incubator support someplace. And sort of related to this, but different, would be the third place concept for people who work from home who want a place to go drink coffee while they make coffees and coffee.
Third place for,
So like a business center?
More like a Starbucks or coffee shop, simply you can hang out for hours with your laptop or hang out with friends.
Starbucks doesn't allow that anymore.
Yeah, unless you buy some.
Right.
Gosh, you bought $6 for a cup of coffee, 4 hours office space.
and then put maybe.
And then fire the Lane County Administrator who does not cooperate with local businesses.
Okay, more cooperation.
And from Lane County is a specific,
I got the impression from my people that they're not naming names, they have.
We can expand it if we wish. Market one.
I mean, I'm just wondering, should we make it business, small business specific, or is it broader than that?
Broader.
It's broader, yeah.
Okay, okay.
County's got a little dysfunction, makes it hard to get in and
Yeah.
get done. It's slow down the process just for fire recovery.
Oh, and access to capital.
Yeah, that's good. We also ran out of time, so I'd like to, we need the housing to come back as part of the thing, and we can't get a lot of the stuff we have.
That's actually this infrastructure.
But it's also part of the small business thing, so.
Sure, we could, well, let's add it here. I think,
Chicken and egg.
it's good to recognize.
So what number will we need? How many have they built back so far? About half? They got permits for about 200 of them? And now we have the new ADU thing and some of the other initiatives that are working on is having another 200 at the end of 5 years. Is that realistic? Is that something we're putting out as a goal?
I mean, the answer is, we don't know. But they're proposing ADUs, which should be fairly easy. With the incoming, and then we're proposing cluster housing, which should be somewhat relatively easily in the Blue River area alone, because that's where all the zoning is for rezoning. And then they're talking about another concept is multi-use parks, or excuse me, mobile home park, modular home park, such as that. And, I have an opinion.
Did you, sorry to interrupt. Did you throw out a number? Did you say 200 or something?
200, if we do 200, that would just replace what was destroyed, that doesn't add anything new.
Right.
So I think that that should be a reasonable minimal,
200 minimum.
yeah.
200 homes, Chris, and the township.
80.
Yeah, that would replace what was lost, that doesn't even get us ahead. It's ahead from where we are now, but not before the fire. I
Are
think that
you
would be a
talking
minimum.
ADUs or
Just
home
homes,
homes?
dwellings.
That don't turn into short-term rentals.
Right.
So I guess I want
Probably
to,
more overnight lodging too, so.
anything else on small business?
There could be a lot more.
Well, there was some crossover,
Yeah.
like for us,
Right.
when we talked about the food trucks, that's small business, and
Sure.
the gallery's small business.
And a lot of these actually, I mean, these are interesting. These are like metrics. Some of them are metrics and some of them are projects. And a lot of those projects are appearing on the project list, and anything that doesn't, we'll add it. So we'll be revisiting those specific projects at the next meeting. You'll have a chance to talk about those and sort of rank them and decide which are super important and which are only really important, or whatever the ranking is. I guess now I wanted to check in. Do the themes, we kind of grouped what we heard into these themes under each area. Do those themes seem right to you? Would you think that they are missing something? Do you think that they should be shifted? I just wanted to do a kind of gut check of how you felt about the themes that as we kind of look through all this data, we try to capture them into these categories.
So one of the things that we've been fairly silent about is health and safety.
Okay.
We haven't touched those very much.
Which I would think health is gonna be pretty important since the majority of your respondents were in the 66 to 75-year-old range. Why I like where I live,
I'm
I'm
out of
really
that.
close to my doctor.
I'm out of that.
So, Jerry, what are your concerns as far as health? Because we have a pretty good fire system. Upper McKinsey Fire is going to.
I was thinking more from safety, I was thinking law enforcement. Law enforcement.
The law enforcement, we can definitely use more.
And health, just as making it possible for us to get some health care here without having to go into some basic health care. Like I just had an eye exam, drove to Eugene. I could have that.
Would you like to see another clinic at Wyeth?
Or clinics, I mean, you could do a clinics, on Thursdays is eye clinic day. And I mean, when I first started working in nursing, I ran a clinic and one day was OBGYN, the next day was allergy, the next day was, I think that's a doable model. You just need to provide space and then providers come. I mean, a lot of people don't want to give up their own physician, but for some things, it'd really be nice to have them here. And I think it makes the area more attractive. You know how some people buy homes based upon the school system? Well, I think in our age group, it's based upon, can I actually live here and not croak trying to get, get to healthcare.
So is the one in Blue River too far for a lot of people?
So that's pretty hard. When you talk to people in Vida about going to Blue River, I mean, as much as
Is
I...
that a perception or is that a reality?
No, it takes a
Because,
while.
really, it's the same distance.
16 miles.
What do you mean? Oh, do you mean to
Yeah, whether you go to Blue River or whether you go to Cameron.
yeah.
So I think it might be perception.
Eugene, is a lot further from Violet than it is from Violet to Blue River.
So I want to document this, but I also want to keep going because I
Yeah.
recognize
Well, you
that
asked.
Yeah, no, and I
No,
don't want, I think I'll cut off the long discussion about it. Yes,
I haven't seen or heard any talk about farming or agriculture.
I love that. Okay, farming and agriculture.
So agribusiness? Agribusiness or agritourism?
Farming and agriculture, gardening, growing blueberries, groceries.
Yeah, and that, that lacrosse picture I showed earlier with the long dinner, that was a farm to table dinner. And so that was taking produce from local businesses and, familiarizing, local citizens with the food that comes, the farmers that come from the area. So,
Our local organic farm down the road used to do that until Lake County
Yeah.
shut down. But now you can't do that. Even though you're a licensed food truck, well, you can't do that. But keep us posted. Anyway.
So back to everything leads back to that thing.
All roads lead to Lake County.
But farming and agriculture could add so much more. It could add things such as education for kids. It could
Okay.
add education for adults. It could be coming to the Blueberry Valley, coming to get berries in the valley is a huge event for a lot of people.
Yeah, fruit picking.
Springfield.
Yeah,
The organic farm brings in interns from all over the United States to work there, to be farmers. So it's a very integral part.
internships.
We have quite an industry of filberts or hazelnuts.
Yeah,
We have tree farmers.
yeah.
A lot more tree farmers today than there were 5 years ago.
Do you know, one of the things that gripes me, just hazelnuts or blueberries, two crops that we have plenty of, is that we don't have anything that's special that we do with that crop. Like all the hazelnuts are spoken for. So we don't have like the Mackenzie River hazelnut bar, or, a product that people come because, oh my God, the only place you can get this is here.
Yeah.
We could be creative.
Yeah.
My canoe club as a kid, we would literally plan whole weekends around different little community food festivals, which in the middle of nowhere, there was one that did fried oysters of all things, and they weren't anywhere near the coast.
Oh, dear.
But no, none of us got sick, but they were amazing people, because they felt so bad. It was in the winter, they felt so bad. I was like, y'all camp right under our shed. It wasn't wall, but camp right here under our shed. Please don't go out to the campground. We'll take care of you. It's like, cool. But and the buckwheat festival, I mean, there could be a filbert, blueberry, whatever festival.
Yeah, down at the little small blueberry farm, the blueberry patch,
Mhm.
it has a very, very tiny little festival each year. And that could be, his is too small, but, it's something that could be exciting fun.
Just like
Yeah,
the
that makes a lot of
lavender,
sense.
just like our lavender festival, which is a pretty big deal now.
It started small.
In terms of the economy, do you have a sense, and I might be able to look this up, of like, there's the recreation economy with biking and hiking and water sports, and then there's the agricultural economy. Any sense of how they compare in terms of number of businesses, income?
I would think the hazelnut economy is high.
But it's all
Are you talking
exported.
about
right?
Yeah, but it doesn't stay here.
Businesses.
Either or, both?
That's apples and farming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would, farming is a much more intense operation year-round where, see, we're running bike tours.
It's a summer.
It might be a seasonal type thing, so
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just
Okay.
thinking out loud.
Yeah, no, I think that's an interesting thing too. I think it has been under reflected in the input.
We
And
get a
it's
lot of.
important, given that rural character was one of the top things, and those farms contribute to the rural
Right,
character.
yeah, I said that too.
Get a lot more data from the tourism stuff than we do from the farming community.
Sure.
And the farmers aren't really that they're not involved in the tourism stuff at all, so we
They're
don't
busy farming.
get a sense that, yeah, well,
There's the pumpkin
a
patch,
lot of places do agritourism, so I mean, there's,
agritourism, maybe we just put agritourism. Anything else missing, anything that didn't feel quite right about the themes, or you want to change, or anything that you want to cross off?
I think
Or
those
they all
are-
seem good, but
those are
but then
strong-
you have a few.
Those three are strong themes, but when you ask for additional, I came up with some, you guys came up with some.
I keep thinking, because I come from this industry, but forest management needs to be in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, forest management,
Because
okay.
that's, you know, it's evolving, forest
Yeah.
management, or the forest service being one of the employers and also industry, you know, there's more opportunity coming as we look at with prescribed burn, for instance, how we generate.
Sure. So that's been, yeah,
So it's been a huge economic driver in town.
okay. And that's an important aspect of the nature and recreation. Okay.
So does agribusiness work into nature and recreation? I mean, would it fit in that
Yeah,
broader
it would fit in
category?
there.
It was
Yeah.
coming up in the survey in both arts and culture, kind of in all of the places.
Mhm.
A lot of it's
Okay.
farming and agriculture.
Yeah, I mean, some can fit, like restaurants, that can fit in multiple places.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
It's farm to
indigenous can
table.
go into culture too.
Mhm.
what's that?
Indigenous can go into culture because it's our
Right.
historical culture.
Yeah. So there's definitely crossover, like they're not, you know, cleanly, I mean, whenever you organize something, you're making judgment calls, and of course, stuff fits into multiple things, but yeah, this is great information. I think it actually addresses a few gaps that we weren't seeing. So we'll incorporate those. I want to spend the last half hour diving a little deeper into Main Street and giving some examples